Good morning, hustlers. I hope everyone had a lovely weekend. Let's jump right into it. Wanted to shout out first the high performers in the area of mindfulness. Number one, Morning Magic coming in. God, like every single day you're doing it. It's awesome. That thing is ingrained, and I love the results it's creating for you with your self belief and playing yourself on a bigger level and acknowledging your bigness, you lion, you. Number two, Brian Searcy. Good job, baby. Brian S. Finally getting your metrics updated. And look at you. You're shooting right up to the top. Really glad. I'd love to hear from you, Brian, how that has shifted for you. It sounds like it's way ahead of your initial plan goal. So kudos to you. And number three, Ethelrad, same thing. Thank you for updating your metrics. Thank you for shaking up the board and bringing forth your finest and showing everybody how you're playing. Honorable mention to Bronx Bomber and Coach D Money. It's made a big difference for me with that mindfulness. So I love what it's creating within me to always be thinking about how can I squeeze a little bit of mindfulness in today. And it's really expanded the possibilities for me. So I hope you're finding the same for all you guys. We'll move on to food. Number one, again, shaking up the board, Ethelrad, followed closely by Applebomb and then Bronx Bomber. Honorable mentions to Brian S. and Mama Tries. Go figure, you guys have the same score. They're married, by the way. So great job there, everybody. And finally, fitness coming at number one, Connolly Global with hitting the 40-day mark. Awesome stuff. Number two, Morning Magic. Again, 6 days a week, just like you said. And Jack. Good job, Jack. Jack is a courier, so he's always on the move. Really glad you're finding some time in the hotel rooms, on the trains, planes, and automobiles, Jack. So keep up the great work. Would love to hear how if you're using the videos I created abroad as well, and if they're applicable to hotel rooms in China. Honorable mentions to Coach D Money yourself. 6 days a week, or 5 days a week, and I'm going about 6 days a week now, almost. And Ethelrad, good job, Ethelrad. Again, I think you are Ethelrad on the board for every single performance metric. Congratulations, that's really awesome stuff. So this Thursday is the halfway point of the challenge, and I wanted to take some time with everybody and have a check-in in relation to the goals you initially set in the challenge when we had our initial coaching call about the mindfulness, the food, and the movement, and kind of see how you're doing up until there. I know I shout out the high performers only, and I don't know if that's completely fair because some people just set a slightly lower bar for themselves, to achieve their own level of magic. So I would like to renegotiate how we see the board in the future so you can see your progress towards your personal goal. I'm not just shouting out the top 5 to 7 people on the board every week. I would really like to compare it to how you're doing personally with your initially set goals. So this is the halfway point. Be on the lookout for an email, maybe even a phone call if I have time for it, to check in with everybody because I want to see how everyone's doing in relation to the challenge for themselves. Let's see here. I would also like to know if any of you guys have seen any physical changes so far. I know we're only about halfway through the challenge, about 6 weeks in, but I'm wondering if anybody has felt clothes a little looser, maybe a little more energy. It doesn't have to be tangible. Take your waist measurement or see it on the scale, because that doesn't always tell the story, but I would love to hear from people. So please be considering that in my phone call or email. I would like to get some feedback about how the challenge is authentically working or not working for you guys. What can be better? Also check in with how you're doing mentally. We're 6 weeks into the challenge, and I can see a little bit of separation between the people who are playing, and other people who are kind of drifting off a little bit. The metrics aren't really being checked into, and I want to know how you're holding up with everything, because it's a long game. Habit change takes a little bit of time. It's a little uncomfortable, and it's really easy to slide back into our old ways when things get uncomfortable, when we have a couple of challenging days, stress in our lives. We tend to just forget about why we wanted to do this in the first place, and all of a sudden the holiday season's got us by the neck again, the exact thing that we did not want to happen is happening again. We're coming on the meat of the holiday season, guys. Next week is Thanksgiving, if you can believe it. And we just need to stay in the space of intentionality. And that's why you guys signed up for this challenge, to be intentional, to put containers on your cheats, to put containers on your workouts, to play yourself big, to reduce stress. So just be mindful of how you're playing, how you started to play in the beginning, and maybe how you are now. If you're up, down, I'm here for you guys. Please utilize me as a resource to bounce ideas off of and anything else. So I implore you to stay connected. What I wanted to do was talk about a few time savers to support you guys with, to stay connected to the challenge. Maybe offer some new ways of being that you guys can bring forth with this week, about how to make your workout routine a little bit easier to get into, food to stay a little more committed to the cleanliness of your diet, and how to find mindfulness within your day. There was always opportunities to do it. Like Tony Robbins said, if you can't find 10 minutes in your day, then you don't have a life, and he is right. So number one, I found, shout out to Bronx Bomber for this. This is the first time I've done it this week, was grocery delivery or pickup, or meal delivery or meal pickup. So the first week I used Ralph's pickup service, where I called it in, I ordered online, they dropped it off to my car in about 5 minutes. I was in and out with my daughter, had her all day, and that's one big thing, is getting in and out of the car. They just dropped it off. It saved me about an hour. So if you can do that, I highly recommend it. A lot of companies will be offering the first few weeks free of delivery as well, I've noticed. One recommendation is set your order the night before so you can get it earlier. I had this idea last night, so yesterday morning, and I couldn't get the groceries until later in the afternoon, which was okay. But next time you can put in the order for the night before and have them delivered, or pick them up early as possible. So that'll also be helpful. They also have tons of meal services, at least in the Los Angeles area. It's a huge market. It's very competitive, so people are always throwing out deals. So if you've got a little extra expendable income and really want to tune in your nutrition, you can do full meal delivery services, or services like a Blue Apron, where they'll send you all the ingredients and you just got to put them together. So really consider that. So those options, because not eating well is not an excuse anymore. There's too many services right now to help us get through that. So anything is possible if you just do a little bit of digging. Number two is logging your breakdowns. One thing I've noticed in the challenge is my breakdowns pretty much always happen around the weekends. It might not be a surprise there, but to me, I really thought I was doing better than I was in allowing myself cheats, sometimes gratuitously. But when I noticed through my metrics, logging my performance, that I didn't have a lot of. Oh, there's a truck coming. You guys are gonna have to deal with this. I didn't notice how much I was drinking on Sundays until I stopped. So logging my breakdowns was a big deal. Please hold while this. And we're back. Back streets of Los Angeles, in this alley with the best lighting where it's quiet. Sometimes you don't get fully lucky. Another thing that's helped out from another one of my clients who's not in the challenge, David, has emergency stashes of food. So when he gets really hungry, his blood sugar drops, anything like that. He's got emergency stashes in his car, in his gym bag, and at his desk, where he is able to have a little bit of beef jerky or some almonds or a low sugar meal replacement bar. And he says it has helped him have those emergency food items when he gets hungry, so he doesn't pull into the drive-thru, so he doesn't go to the snack stand at his work, and he's just got that immediately available healthy snack options. So have emergency stashes at the ready where you are the most: the desk, the car, your gym bag, even at the ready and handled in your own home. Makes a difference. And number 3 is be willing to change. Have a hard look at yourself and what's working in your life and what is not. I can't tell you how many clients have paid me for my advice about how to get a fit body, but they're not willing to change. They're not willing to go through their own personal cognitive dissonance and shift something in their lives. Like really, one thing that was a challenge for me is why can I not give up alcohol on the weekends? That was one of my intentions at first, was why can I not give up alcohol a little bit more? Why must I have a couple glasses of wine or a whole bottle every weekend? So I really have to be willing to look at, do I really want it that bad? Do I want the body fat percentage so low that I give up wine? Something to look at, something to consider. So notice where we're not willing to change at the moment. See what it's costing you, and consider at what pain point will you finally choose to move on it. So if you're not that dissatisfied with having a little bit of a tummy, maybe that's where you are. If you really want to make the change, what do you have to change first? Start there. So 3 tips. I wanted to provide you guys with a little more transformation this week than information, because you guys know how to put together a cauliflower stir-fry recipe if you really want it, and where to find it in the whole internet. So wanted to offer up that neck massage video instead of a shake recipe that you may or may not use, and spend a little more time on the video with things to consider about how to transform your life and make crucial decisions for yourself to shift your physique, to shift your mindset, to shift your confidence. So there you have it. That's all for now. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful week. I'll be talking to you guys at some point via email or phone call or text about your halfway performance. Reach out with any questions. Lots of love. Talk to you soon.